So Saturday the 30th of March, we're heading over to another member, long-term member of the system, just to see how they go following the horse system on a race day. It's great to get into the homes of some of our long-term members. It's so kind of them to welcome us in so that they can give you all an insight as to how they do things. They've obviously learned so many tricks over their years of following the horse system, and for some of them it's basically a walk in the park. Saturday morning they lock in, they get the job done, and then they clock off. Race 1 is in about, about 45 minutes, I believe. We'll get in there, we'll see how he's set up and ready to go and see what his plan is for the day, and hopefully you enjoy it. Cheers, guys. So I forgot to mention, this member is a bloody legend. He actually offered me a beer and a feed for coming over to, film his setup and that sort of jazz. I didn't quite have the heart to tell him that I don't like prawns. He said that, I hope you like prawns, Steve, because him and his partner, they're putting on a big feed of prawns for lunch. I've never liked seafood. I can do it now, I can handle it, but as a kid growing up, I used to never understand why prawns was the entree for Christmas lunch. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. I don't know whether I just tough it out. I think I'm just gonna have to tough it out. I feel guilty, feel bad. Man's put on a huge spread. I have bought a bottle of red for them. I have bought something to the party, at least, not just being a whinging sook, but I'm just about to pull up now, so excited for the day. Cheers. Knock, knock. Go in. Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good. Welcome.
Cheers. Cheers for having me.
Nice.
Pleasure to meet you. Yeah, cheers. We've got Flemington in 9 minutes, so I'll get this one on.
I've got a non-promo.
Oh, do you? Let's just get into
as well.
what's going on here. So just walked in. You've got a non-promo on at Allesley. Is that what I'm seeing here?
That's right.
Yeah. So, lovely. Cool. So I can see a backer stake of $21 there. Is this one non-promo bet? Have you placed this across multiple different accounts? Yep.
Just one.
One non-promo. Yep.
Yep.
With tab. Lovely.
Yep. 20 at 2.8. So I'm just trying to get a little bit.
Yeah, lovely. So you've actually, how did you manage to get a $2.80 fixed on tab and then get a $2.72 lay odds on Betfair?
I guess I was just watching. Watching. Yeah. I just happened to notice it.
First race?
12:15.
12:15, all right.
I'm ready. So I know.
Yeah, cool.
And this is where this is so effective.
This is unreal.
Planning your day stuff.
Yeah.
So I can
get a bit of a closer shot in there.
Already, I've planned my day where I've put on a whole bunch of non-promos and bonuses as well across the NBA this morning.
Nice. And you've even labelled here where you've placed those non-promo bets as well?
Which bookie, so then I can track ultimately how many non-promos I've had across a day, how many promos I've had across a day.
Awesome.
Just typically on a race day, I'll always just make sure I'm sort of on 1-to-1 at least.
Yep.
There's some days I don't get to do that. But
sure.
On a day like today, where my day's a bit shorter than what it would normally be today because I'm going to the football this afternoon.
Yeah, that's awesome, yep.
So I'll be 12 till 3 today. And that's basically the first 6 races at Rosehill and Flemington.
Cool.
Then with a bit of non-promo and bonus stuff mixed in with Allesley, Oakbank.
Nice. So you're even putting in over here, sorry, I'll jump on this side. You're even putting in over here that you've got Allesley and Oakbank in between races and their potential targets for you where you can place your non-promos, turn your bonus bets over and stuff like that.
I've already planned who I'm going to do my non-promos with.
Nice.
In those races.
Yep.
And I've also, planned to do a few exercises on the side of that as well.
Nice.
When to have lunch, etc.
Hinges, well. Nice.
So I just know between 12 and 3, 17, what I'm going to be doing, which bookies I need to have open. So it's just been really,
that's awesome.
Really efficient.
2 units here, race 1, number 4. What I'm already noticing having been here for 10 minutes, is just how calm your approach is. Everything is so calm. There's no panic. There's no, you've got your day planned out. You've got everything structured to a T. you know, where even a minute before the race and you're logging in, there's no rush. You obviously look like you've gone through these motions so many times where you know exactly what your process is, you know exactly what works for you, and you just plug and play.
Yeah, pretty much. It's I think particularly with this document, this planning your day side of it, whilst I prioritise spending good 20 minutes on getting this, 15 to 20 minutes getting this done and right. That's all I have to do.
That's your day.
Just go and execute.
So the race has jumped. As we can see, we've got it lovely on the TV over there. Are you watching the races when they're on, or?
Yeah, it depends. So my partner Carly's ducked down the street to get some stuff to get ready to go to the footy today. But typically, once I've finished entering the data, I'll turn around and maybe have a look if it's interesting. But
sure, I'm not even sure which one we are on.
It's like a green and yellow. Let me pick it on the outside. I might get it here.
This is a tight finish.
That's not even the pay.
Nah,
that's in the back.
What number were we?
I think it was
number 4
or 6. Yeah, no, that was Senegalia. That was a big outsider. Yeah, so I typically Carly and I will exactly like you're saying now. We'll have something on in the background, but we'll be eating, cooking, playing with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I typically would wake up on a Saturday, try and do some exercise, go and then coach my kids in basketball.
Nice. What time is that?
It's somewhere between 9 and 12 typically, so in the morning. So from there, depending on what time the game is, I'll have that half an hour window where I'll plan my day, can then switch off again, have a big feed,
Beautiful.
go and hang out, do what we want to do, and then figure out what time I want to allocate to it or not.
Yeah.
I think that's the other big thing that's, changed and adjusted for me, and I can see it as part of, most of the guys in their pathways is once you get past that, I reckon it's about 6-month mark where you just have that moment where it works and your system's efficient and you can flick the switch on and off, and it's really
awesome.
refreshing. Yeah.
So you're not worried some days, you're not worried. Obviously today you're going to the footy, later the Zavo. You're not worried if you miss a chunk of the day, even a full Saturday, maybe a month even. No. I know you've obviously taken time off, going on holidays, that sort of thing. Yeah. You're just happy to come in, turn the tap on when you need to turn the tap on, and you're not too worried about what happens outside of that.
Yeah, which is great. It's so then it becomes whilst I treat it as an investment, it very much though I think it feels like a hobby as well.
That's great.
Which is really, again, a refreshing way to view it because, and it's nice to have a hobby that you can make some money from as well.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But yeah, there's zero stress.
Yeah, you seem like a very calm dude. Are you generally a very calm sort of operator? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Not much stuff stresses me out unless you want to attack me or my family, then I'll probably have something to say. But
yeah, of course.
I'm pretty. I've got a pretty blessed life. Life's pretty good when you weigh up what some other people out there in the world are going through.
Is that something you've learnt over just got a bit of a wiser head on you than some of our members?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm in my early 40s, so I've experienced more, and I think as you experience more in life, you get to figure out what's really important or not.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then what's stressful or not.
Yeah.
Whether it's, death in your family or, injury and illness or, all those things that ultimately are labelled as, bad things. As long as you've got good people around you, I think you get through that stuff.
That's so cool.
Pretty well.
It's clear that that's the way, based off of a bit of the conversation that we've had off camera prior to today, you're not going to let your match betting, you're following the system on a Saturday sort of dictate to you what you do on a Saturday. Obviously it's there, but you're going to prioritise the people around you, your family around you, your friends around you, and that's going to be something that is where you want to fully focus on, and then obviously work your match betting around that, exactly. Which is awesome. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's just you figure that stuff out, I think, as you get older too, just around what your priorities are. And, you know, particularly once you have kids and when, like I run my own business as well. So that's a part of it as well. That's my livelihood. Like it needs to be a priority.
Absolutely.
So, but once you can put those things in order, then it becomes quite clear, you know, and it becomes quite easy to say no as well. You know, you have all this fear of missing out or this fear of trying to, you know, fit in with the Joneses or whatever. It's just like, no, it's not important.
Yeah.
I can do it another time.
That's awesome.
Richard Branson's, one of his books is all about that.
Is it?
Yeah, where he's like, you know, he's constantly having people asking him, do you want to invest in this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to da-da-da-da?
No.
That's his most popular word, he reckons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
imagine
no
how
way.
many bloody deals that guy would have been offered.
Oh, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you get? We've just been planning these rolls, mate. These prawn rolls.
Oh.
You like seafood?
It's growing on me.
So we're going to skip Rosehill race 1.
Rosehill race 1 skips.
So I'll go back into my plans now.
Yep.
And I'd have a look at these 2 bookies to see even when I potentially, how that now impacts me, what I'd do. So
awesome. So when you say potentially impacts you, what do you sort of mean by that?
So CrossBet and Tab, I'll go and have a look and see what I'd plan to do for them for today. So CrossBet, that was actually going to be the only promo I was going to use for them.
Nice.
So that's actually probably, and that's okay because that account balance is actually a bit low at the moment anyway. So I'll take that off.
Yep.
Same for Tab. I'll then look at how much I then need to potentially adjust the non-promos I had there.
Mm-hmm.
No downside to still doing a non-promo with CrossBet. And I know I've got CrossBet's Rosehill races 1 to 6 is the promos I've got for them today. So I can literally jag that in anywhere really.
This spreadsheet is super useful. This is Harry Potter's
a
work.
version of it, yeah.
A version of it.
A couple of little adjustments, but
can you run me through it a little bit? What are these 3 columns here? What's the columns on the far right?
I use it, and you can actually see I've got both a Wednesday and a Saturday version.
Yep.
So that ultimately on the other days of the week when I want to dedicate either turning over bonuses or doing non-promos, I can go back and see. I don't think I've actually got, but like I would have kept last Wednesday's data there, so I can actually see. I mean, that's all in the sustainability stuff as well. Like I could do that via that way if I really wanted to, but I just find this helps for me anyway. It just helps where after today, I'll leave that there and I'll know if I missed some of these non-promo bets or that what I need to then do Sunday, Monday, whenever. Yeah. Just to then know that I'm appropriately sustaining. These columns just represent all the bookies that I've got.
Yep.
And
so you've got about 20 bookies or something?
34.
Oh, 34. Yeah, wow.
Some of them I've lost along the way that are still just there. But
okay, sure, yep.
I've lost about 4, I think.
That's incredible.
November.
And you've
November 22.
November 22, yeah.
And then this is the unit size, current unit size. But again, when you adjust this, then it will adjust it in the formula here. So
nice, yeah.
Sometimes when I start up a new bookie, I might start with a smaller unit size. So I might, start off at 25 or
interesting
smaller, which then just helps me get some more quantities through.
Sure.
Also, sometimes when a bookie might restrict your promos as well. So like you might get restricted to have only 25 maximum. Yep. I might adjust my unit size accordingly to that. But typically I've progressed now to 50 at all of them.
So when you have, say you start up a new bookie and you start on $20, $25 unit size with that bookie, if we tip a unit and you've on your plan to use, say, X bookie for that unit, will you cover the extra 25 for the extra unit, or are you just happy to sort of just go, all right, well, that unit is just going to be a $25 bet because of the nature of sort of your own process that you got?
Most of the time it would be just whatever the unit size
whatever
is.
Whatever the unit is,
The priority is the account and its maintenance.
Awesome, yeah.
Then that's what I'd go with. And maybe lose a bit of profitability because of that.
But you might save a loss or something. It's all going to come out long term,
So, and typically I wouldn't use that bookie until I've done the non-promo sustainability stuff where I'm confident and comfortable and that account's in good shape, where I can then go 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 pretty swiftly.
Yeah, sure.
Like I think any mug punter would do. And I think because I've got, 34, well, it's about 30 active bookies. There's some week I go some weeks where I don't use a bookie at all. And
that's awesome.
That in itself, I think, is really good for sustainability.
That's what a gambler would do, right?
Yeah.
A gambler would go, nah, this weekend, no, I lost too much last weekend, I'm done. So we've had a bit of a decent break. Obviously, we've only had the one race so far. Getting ready for the next tip. You've pulled up, you've obviously checked your plan. Do you want to talk me through it? I don't want to sort of commentate as such.
Sure. So check my plan for the next race at Rosehill. I'm going to use Palmer Bet and Dabble, 2-unit race. I actually don't have full unit size in Palmer as well, so I'll just empty that account. The only other thing I'll do is I'll check and compare the pricing if I've got time. So Zarex 280 on Palmer Bet. This will change because it's
it will, you're right.
I'll just see what it actually is. 275. So
much of a muchness.
Yeah, I'll take this and I'll move that. And then actually I probably needed to make that a bet back. So
I was about to say.
I probably just did a non-promo.
I wasn't entirely sure, but
that's all right. No big deal. Move on.
No, that's a great attitude.
I could probably jump on and try and lay a bit of it, but I won't bother. Yeah, so there's serpentine for the year too.
So something like that, I reckon there'd be members who, if they make a little mistake like that, and we've all done it, that doesn't faze you, or did it used to faze you? Has there been any change there, or is it just like it is what it is?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
That all comes out in the wash. That's serpentine in front.
Serpentine leading.
So I reckon the yellow cap, I reckon?
It's trucking.
Yeah.
Serpentine's fighting back.
Yeah, it's
wow.
a double beast, I think.
You're kidding me.
Touching on that community stuff, like there's some great information in that Discord. Your subscription business model, and all of the resources that you're now providing, as well as then what the community are then also happily sharing. It's all I need. To ultimately be able to make this investment, have it as a enjoyable hobby.
You talk about hobby, so you genuinely enjoy sitting down Saturdays. Were you a previous punter beforehand?
Yeah, so yes and no. So I grew up with, my dad owned racehorses, but in growing up, I never really bet on anything really. We went to the races a few times to watch a few of his horses run, or maybe during my 20s I went to a few big race days and I don't know, had $50 on whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it was never in my wheelhouse at all. I was too busy playing or coaching sport.
Yeah.
On my weekends to
be awesome.
Doing anything like this. But then, so formed a really great little tight-knit community with a few of the dads from my children's school.
Great.
And as part of that group, there was a section that we enjoyed, having a punt, and then COVID lockdowns in Melbourne hit, and we were pretty bored, but the racings were still on.
Yeah.
And so we formed a little punters group, and we won. We actually won.
Yeah, that's great.
A couple of thousands of dollars, and we did it in a totally unsustainable, degenerate way.
Yeah, but, as it's designed to do, essentially, right?
So I won a pretty juicy early quaddie, and that just basically was our bank, for the next sort of year. And then, so that was then most of 2020, most of 2021. But we were in front, so it was like, it was all okay. But it wasn't, because then, then I went through my separation. Then there was more emotion involved. There was more,
in the betting,
more sporadic
because of your outside circumstances.
Yep.
Yeah,
I was using that as a good excuse, to let a bit of frustration out.
And that was, so when you were saying, sorry to cut you off, when you were saying you were very degenerative, there was no structure. You weren't, when you were betting this syndicate, there's no structure or anything.
Well, there was structure,
Yeah.
Not like the structure you and I know now, though.
Sure.
So we'd bet on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have structure around staking. So we'd use 10% of our kitty. We'd use the 10% every Saturday. So if we had $5,000 sitting there, we'd spend 500
on a quaddie.
On everything. On everything.
On everything.
Okay. And I led that too. So
it's not horrible.
No, but it wasn't.
It's not like
now.
Yeah, of course.
Not great.
But it's better than we got $5,000. You like.
Well, that's how our syndicate did end, though.
Yeah, right.
So we got to the end of, I don't know when it was. We went to a Moonee Valley meeting. We had $2,500 and we lost it all that night. So
on the punt or on beers and
both. Yeah.
Both.
We went and celebrated.
Yeah.
And that was actually
was the intention to spend the money?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
To celebrate.
Right.
So then I found that was like, I reckon that was like August, September when I picked up and I'd noticed some content.
Sure. 2022 we're talking. Yep.
Yeah. And then I sat on it for a bit. We went through the spring. I reckon that was the spring where Better might have come around too. So we jumped on the Better bandwagon and we all deposited into Better. We had a great spring and what do you know, we all got money again. But then I was like, still something wasn't sitting right because I'd started to see some content about particularly turning over bonuses, switching off, the noise and the nonsense of the commercialism of, gambling shows. And I found myself wasting a lot of time and energy watching every bloody racing show, listening to every podcast. And I just was fully ingrained. And I was just like, I'm wasting so much time and energy.
For what purpose were you watching those shows?
To try and win money.
To get the skills, to get the knowledge, to get the insider word. Yep, interesting.
But ultimately, I was being, informed by people that are sponsored by the bookies. It's like, it doesn't make any sense once I got that exposure and understanding. So, and I remember Carly and I went to Caulfield with her family one day, and I didn't have one bet, and I was like, I've made the switch here. I've made the move.
That's awesome.
I remember that day.
And I remember just stopping and observing people, just going, just have a look at what's going on here. Like I finally, someone just went, stop, have a look. like the content I saw from you guys.
When is this? This is October.
This is
That's pretty carnival.
And then I'd signed up during the week.
Yeah. Okay.
I went to the races that weekend. So I'd consumed all the content, gone through the information, and I just sat there and watched at the races where it's a lot more exaggerated than sitting at a pub tab or like in your own lounge room. Yeah. And I was just like, holy moly, like have a look at what's going on here. Like look at the noise, look at the nonsense, look at the bullshit that's going on here.
Yeah.
Turn on your TV, turn on your radio, jump on the internet, go and look at, any sort of advertisement, any sort of thing that comes past your eyes or ears. It'll be something to do with a betting company, really often, and you don't even notice it. You just become numb to it. Yeah. And it's, and for someone who enjoys watching, sport or even like you're sitting there watching a nighttime television show, like I'm sitting there watching Survivor with my kids, and all of a sudden there's gambling ads on. I'm like, what's going on? I think
you might be able to bet on Survivor. I'm fairly sure you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is going on with that? Anyway, so it just became more apparent everywhere I looked, everywhere I went.
That light bulb moment.
And I was just like, what a waste of time and energy to be going anywhere near consuming it, first of all, and then being tricked by it.
So even though you had these punters groups and you're actually making a little bit of money off them, which in itself is probably quite rare, what do you think has been the biggest, I guess, benefit of not doing? Oh, are you still doing that? Sorry.
Yeah. So the group of the dads and I.
Yeah.
We basically now do. We restarted. So we had like 6 months off, 9 months off, and we started the next racing season, which is 1st of August. And I laid out what the new rules were.
Nice.
And
how did that go?
Well, the graph. So they were pretty happy with the new rules.
That's awesome.
But I'd love it'd be pretty interesting content to hear some of them, what they might say, because because
So what's one of the new rules?
also I'll say to them, all right, hey, here's the promos that I've seen floating around. Everyone can have one win bet, and like what I've done, like with our setup here,
Yeah.
they all get one win bet according to the, if there's promotions around certain locations, etc. I'll say that's where you have to bet. That's the only option. If you want to try and back some donkey in Kalgoorlie, go and have some fun. But this is what we'll do here in this group. What they deposited to me, $50 back. There's like 8 or 9 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I would typically do, like for this, for example, they would typically now only select very similar selections to probably what the system would do, because I would just reject their bets if it was like 6th in the market or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What do you know that the bookies don't know? Like, pull your head out of your ass. Like, and then that shifted and changed their betting pattern. So
Were you that direct telling them to
these
tell
are
them?
my mates.
These
So,
are, you could,
so
yeah.
I was like,
But even still,
wake up to like,
when you have a big change like that in front of mates, some people still might not necessarily react to. Are like, who the fuck's this?
No, and
this isn't JohnJohns that I knew
that
in
was
COVID.
fine, because then I'd be like, but then you don't get a bet, mate. And they're like, all right. So
Nice.
So again, like we'll bet typically race days, but then see a lot of them are also really keen on sports. So betting on sports, footy, we love our footy, etc. So then part of the development of learning the skills from the sports system, I was able to give them some info about that sort of thing too. To go, hey, how about this as a, and then I've even gotten to the point where we've sat down and done an expected value session together, and like. It shifted and changed.
How good's that?
It shifted and changed.
That's so good.
Doing. Friday night, I'll send her in a message. Hey, if you want to have a bet, send me a message, and then I'll say, yep, your bet's accepted or not. And it's great.
The gatekeeper.
Yeah, well, they call me leader.
Leader.
And,
leader.
Sometimes I don't let them have a bet unless they call me leader. So I play under a bit as well.
Yeah, nice. You gotta.
Yeah. No, but that's been a great, again, a way of continually for me recognising what we used to do and how I think we were fortunate in that we won money.
Yeah.
But also it's now a way where we can actually, as middle-aged men, actually stop each other and go, hey, don't be a dickhead, don't be something stupid and try and do this or bet that thing or da-da-da-da. It's like, no, this is the way we do it. And this is how you win. Yeah. And they get it and they enjoy it. Just get myself ready for the next one.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So Bet Nation and Baggy Bet. Baggy Bet, I think he's also only 25 as well.
So you've compared the odds there and gone,
I'll take
the 460 over the $4. Yeah.
I've got time. Might as well. I think it's home here. Hold on, Aaron. Nice. Yeah, so Flemington, that race at Flemington, we only used one promo, in which I used Baggy Bet. So I'm going to now remove the Bet Nation plan promo that I was going to use, double check and see. That was the only one for that bookie I was going to use. I still have allocated a non-promo bet for Bet Nation, which is down here a little bit later in New Zealand. And I'll still probably do that just for the sake of continuing to sustain that account. Can I use Bet Nation somewhere else across the day to spread the load a little bit more? Possibly. Yeah, I'd probably just give them a week off. To be honest.
Nice.
That'd be okay.
Still place the non-promo. Yep.
Maybe pay a little account fee for them, but that's fine. The other thing I'll probably...
Might send you a text message during the week.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a long-term account I've had as well. And actually, I'm yet to open another one of their business accounts yet. So haven't opened Surge, Noisy or Deluxe. So I'll probably wait for as long as I possibly need to with that. But that account is a very old account that I know is in very good, healthy shape.
It's incredible. What's your total profit figure?
So I'll give you the rough total is about 13,500, 14,000.
That's sick.
That's November 22, November 2022 to now.
So that's what, 18-ish months?
Yep. But I
17.
I took off as well some time. Carly and I went overseas June and July 2023.
Sweet.
And I basically pulled all my profits out
Nice.
of my accounts to pay for that holiday.
That's so good. Where'd you go?
We went to Thailand for a couple of weeks and yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, you're very flexible, which is great. You know, your Saturdays, you're not going to let match betting dictate. There's a couple of things that you've said where it's like, ooh, you know, that's a little bit like probably not what we would recommend, but hey, you've made it work for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't do these things 1 month into your journey, 3 months into your journey, but you work out what works for you. You get pieces of information from obviously everyone else, super resourceful. So it's awesome and I think people will hear that and be a bit refreshed by it to hear, oh, you can do it slightly different, which suits you and obviously, you know, fits into your lifestyle.
Yeah. I think there's a risk appetite in match betting where you actually have to just stop and, like what we've discussed before, put yourself in the bookie's shoe, put yourself in your former mindset, gambler's mindset position. Just what do you need to do right now that will ultimately keep things set up for the long term?
That ability to think that way, for sure, super valuable. And a benefit is a lot of us have been gamblers. Yeah. So it's actually easy to think, oh, what would have I done, or what would have you done?
Yeah. I physically can feel it.
Yeah.
Like
so can I. Yeah.
And it's like you feel your whole, your chemical makeup in your body and your brain.
Arms
changes.
tense up, your neck tenses up, whatever it is for that person. Yeah.
Whereas now, and as I enjoyed your feedback around, geez, you're relaxed. It's because I am. I'm just having a nice Saturday afternoon with my partner and having a chat with you. So it's just like having a day off from work.
Don't overcomplicate it.
No.
So the next race has come along. First unit's been sent out and the second unit's just come through there. So you've already chucked the first one on and now second one on there with MintBet. First one was on with Sportsbet according to the plan. Beautiful. Chuck that in the spready. Bang. I mean, Carly's just yelled out to us if we're hungry, which is very kind. So grab a feed after this race. Was that your plan?
I'm just going to do it now, mate.
Yeah, all good. There you go.
The race is on in the background. It's fine.
Race is on in the background. Off to sort lunch. What's for lunch?
Prawn rolls.
Beautiful.
With some dill, lettuce. What else is in the sauce?
The sauce has got mayo, sriracha, lemon juice, Worcestershire, and maybe some tomato sauce.
Christian Pashaka's recipe.
Yeah, I've got it off his Instagram.
Yeah, lovely. Cheers, Shaq.
Now with some bubbles.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, mate.
Thanks for lunch. Cheers.
We just had a win.
Oh.
It was a 2-tip race.
Yep.
On the plan, but only half a unit was in the end tipped. So I think I put it on Sportsbet, was the best price. I checked the prices, it was $6 Sportsbet or $5.50. Ended up being $6 as well.
Nice.
So that's another nice result. And again, I'll go and review then. That changes things for MintBet too, because I didn't use that promo. So
yeah, nice. What do you think is, for you personally, the most difficult part of following and match betting in general? And how do you sort of try and navigate that?
Well, for me now, right now, being more than 18 months in, I honestly don't find anything difficult. There's nothing gets to the point where I'm like, oh, this is difficult, because I've accepted I can't control it all. Like I can't control where the money goes. I can't control what wins, what doesn't win. I can't control what gets tipped. I can't control it, so I don't get I don't find any of that then difficult.
Just control what you can control.
Yeah, but then having said that, I think I've also what I previously did find difficult. Having good even balances across account sustainability, variety in the bets to ultimately fit in. I think I've just developed more skills, and I've now got I'm able to better adapt from the knowledge I've built from the system, the horses to the sports system.
Yep.
to then my knowledge of Betfair, what I can back and lay, what range of different types of bets I can do. Like nothing is difficult.
Yeah.
And then what I continually find is easier and easier and easier the more you practice and the more reps you get in, is then because you've got a good plan in place, it just it becomes more efficient, which is what I'm aiming. That's my goal this year. So I don't find this difficult to summarize it. It's enjoyable.
Awesome. So we have been gas bagging a little bit, but you had a couple of non-promos planned. We got chatting. We've missed those non-promos. So what have you done? You've just deleted them from the plan, and now you know, on Monday, if you check this plan, I should have placed these non-promos. I haven't. So now I've got to sort of go and fix them up.
That's right. So anything that's now not in a position of being, 1-to-1 ratio, I know I'll need to do a non-promo.
Nice.
I know.
So easy to check back on.
Well, and I'll leave this plan. I won't change that until next Saturday. So that'll sit there until I know I've done my work. And gotten that done. The other thing that will happen, and that'll actually probably happen pretty soon, it's now just past 2:00, is I'll probably start to receive some messages, tips for the sports service pretty soon. Usually the tips are just coming through in one big hit. So I'd expect them pretty soon. So I might want to, again, consider somewhere in here where I might be able to find a gap to maybe the impact of those. And then I actually will typically document those sports service bets in here as well. So they'll be in the promo column as well.
Nice.
Then again, I'll know what I need to do. And that sustained me for the last, that's the last maybe 3 or 4 months, that routine. No bands.
On a $50 unit size with 14 grand profit with 30 accounts. So Rose Hill race, what about Rose Hill race 4 coming up?
Jamie Carlove in the red. Here I come over the top of you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lovely.
Might double check all these and start delivering some of these results. But
they're all your non-promos from this morning? Yeah, so you've placed, what's that, sort of 20 non-promos this morning across? Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, so that two-way Dutch non-promo basketball game went to the favourite. Nice little, again, I utilised another, might be worth showing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Utilised real money calculator for two-way where I only used 14 bookies for that today.
Sorry, only 14 bookies. Oh, there we go.
Sports service.
The sports service has started coming through. Well, I'll turn the cameras off anyway. Thanks very much for letting us in, mate.
Awesome, mate.
It's been super cool. Super cool insight how you do things. Sorry to distract you a little bit. I think
this is what we do on a Saturday. Whether you're talking to me or either be us and the kids or whatever. So it's very much secondary. Yeah.
Awesome. I think there's so many key learnings in there. I think from a match betting point of view, but just from a life point of view. There's a lot of learnings I've taken. I think there's a lot of learnings that particularly our younger members are going to take from hearing from a bit of a wiser member, which is awesome. Really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's something that I know Tom and I have had a little bit of back and forth about around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
And understanding, as you experience more stuff, it affects and impacts.
Compounds, yeah.
Yeah. The way that you respond to things, or you learn how to say no to things, or you take action on things and prioritise things. So certainly, from the community that you guys have started, I've made some good contacts with people. I think similar mindset, and then in hindsight, I wish I would have learnt so much stuff earlier. And if you can impart a little bit of that wisdom and knowledge onto some of the young people in the community, that's only going to be a benefit to them. So,
absolutely,
why not help out and support?
Yeah, for sure.
Your community,
for sure. Cheers, mate.
Good on you, mate.
Appreciate it. Cheers, legend.
That was awesome. I think what was super cool, obviously there were a few mistakes made. He's unfazed. and that's okay. You know, obviously everything that we talk about, you know, you want to follow the system to a T, you want to do everything perfectly. Yes, in an ideal situation, you definitely want to be doing that for sure, if you can. However, John Johns, he's a dad, he's a business owner, he's a partner, he's got a lot going on in his life. Match betting isn't going to completely dictate how he lives his life. So obviously in the long term, it means you're going to profit a little bit less. However, that's a trade-off that John Johns is clearly happy to take. Before I walked in and turned the camera on, I actually discussed scaling with him, and he hasn't even started scaling yet. So everything that you have seen is with his own accounts. Super grateful, John Johns, for letting me in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed living the experience, because yeah, it was bloody awesome, and can't wait to potentially do more of these in the future. Cheers, guys. One thing I forgot to mention, the prawns were bloody delicious.
So if you want to learn what match betting is and how to get started, there's a free course linked directly in the YouTube description. It goes for 60 minutes. It contains a number of videos explaining how it all works and how you can get started for free today.